What's up? What's up? What's up? All right, today's gonna be pretty much Q&A. All right, I'm gonna go through this a little bit, but if y'all have any questions, drop them. I probably won't be able to go on tonight because I gotta finish packing and moving. So I did want to make this one a little bit more interactive. Typically in the evenings, I'll let y'all join and ask questions and do all that. So we'll do that today then. All right. So let's go through this. But if y'all have anything y'all want to talk about, please let your boy know and let's get into it. All right. So the title of today's discussion is "You Cannot Change What You Feel Separate From." All right. Law of oneness, law of unity. There's only one mind. There is only one energy. There is only one source. There is only one God. There is only one mind. There's only one of all of these things. All right. Is that a gray hair? Okay. So this is what we're gonna talk about. You can't change what you feel separate. You cannot change what you feel separate from. You are God. You are not separate from anything. All right, that's the quote that we're going to start on. So I've talked about this story, and this is actually an old lecture that I pulled up that we'll go through again because every moment, every day is a new perspective, right? And I constantly tell this success story. I've been trying to apply what I've learned about manifestation. There's this woman I'm really interested in, and it feels, there's that key word, right? And it feels like she doesn't even notice me. I've been visualizing, staying positive, and working on embodying confidence, but nothing seems to shift. It's starting to feel discouraging, like maybe I'm just not on her radar at all. Right? Let's bold that. Am I missing something energetically? I really appreciate your insight on how to create a reality where she sees me and we actually connect. Wow, this is beautiful. And as y'all know, because I've talked about this so many times, what happened is we purely changed the story. What do you mean she hasn't noticed you? You just haven't been noticing her noticing you, but she notices you all the time. And then what happened was she actually came up to him and repeated that same story to him. I noticed that we've been noticing each other, right? So everything worked out. But let's break down key parts in this because it always helps to get these real life examples because, I can talk and yap as much as I want. But once we start putting these things into practical, real life use, that's when everything clicks. Okay? Now also, before we get into this, remember, I can give you a framework, but when it comes down to it, you have to take this knowledge and implement it into your own life. Okay? This is all a framework. It's all anybody can give you is a framework. Nobody can create for you. Nobody can manifest for you. Nobody can pray for you. Nobody can curse you. Nobody can do any of those things. All right? So let's talk about this one more time, but let's break it down. If you catch something, speak up. If you catch something, say it. Alex, I've been trying. Okay, here's a key word. I've been trying to apply what I've learned about manifestation. Trying. First word that sticks out, I've been trying. Like I say, stop trying to be worthy. Stop trying to create. Stop trying to do anything and simply know that you are already all that there is. This is why the title of this is "You Cannot Change What You Feel Separate From." I've been trying to apply what I've learned about manifestation, making this a game of effort, a game of work, striving, reaching, trying to feel good, trying to find better thoughts, trying to find better feelings, trying to feel like I am the creator. All these things lead to frustration. I've been trying to apply what I've learned about manifestation. There's this woman I'm really interested in, and it feels like she doesn't even notice me. Once again, that word feels. It feels like she doesn't even notice me. All right? Giving too much power to our feelings. Doesn't matter what it feels like. What do you say it is? It does not matter what it feels like. What does your divine ass say that it is? Thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be. Not thou shalt feel a thing and it shall be. All right? Next. I've been visualizing. I've been staying positive and working on embodying confidence. Right? I've been putting my power in these processes, basically. I've been visualizing. I've been staying positive. I've been working on embodying confidence. Once again, working on, I've been trying, I've been striving, reaching to create my reality. But nothing seems to work. Putting our power in all these things. We go from praying to a God in the sky to putting our faith in these visualizations and these affirmations to change what is outside of us. This is my favorite quote in The Matrix, right? Try not to bend the spoon. It's impossible. Don't change that woman to get her to notice you. It's impossible. Instead, only remember the truth. Only try to remember the truth. There is no spoon. There is no woman not recognizing you. There's no one out there. You simply change your story to change everything. All right. So I've been visualizing, staying positive and working on embodying confidence, but nothing seems to shift. Nothing seems to shift. I can't see anything changing. We talked about the 4 things to do, right? When you're in that wilderness or the void or the womb, when you're waiting for everything to unfold, right? One of those things was do not mistake silence for the lack of movement. You can only see so much of reality. Do not mistake silence for no movement. All right? So now it's starting to feel discouraging. Once again, leaning on the feelings. Leaning on the feelings to try to create. It's starting to feel discouraging. Like maybe I'm just not on her radar at all, right? Leaning more into that story. Because I feel a certain way, I'm giving myself an excuse to tell the story that I do not want. So I want y'all to break down your own stories. Break down your own stories and your own feelings, your own excuses. Write a letter to yourself. If maybe you're struggling, you believe you're struggling to create something, write a letter to yourself as if you're writing to a higher version of yourself, even though that's you. And then pick it apart. Pick apart what you are saying. Find those limiting beliefs. We've already found how many. All right? It's starting to feel discouraging. Why do my feelings matter? Giving power to my feelings. Like maybe I'm just not on her radar at all. Am I missing something energetically? Right? Am I not enough energetically? Well, that can't be the case because you are a source. God is within you. So you must be everything that you desire to be. You must be. The only thing that can stop you from being worthy is what? If you tell a story like this, am I missing something energetically? That's the only way. I'd really appreciate your insight on how to create a reality where she sees me and we actually connect, right? Remember, you're choosing. Huh? So you see how we went through this 1, 2, 3, about 6, 7 sentences, and how many times, how many things did we already point out in there? Leaning on feelings, telling the wrong story, trying to stay positive, putting all my power or outsourcing all my power to the visualizations, to the affirmations, to the embodying positivity. What does embodying positivity even mean? What does that mean? You're a pure positive being. You're a being of pure, untapped, infinite potential. Positive energy flows through you. That's just who you are. You don't have to try to be that. How can you try to be what you already are? How can you try to be what you already were born as? All right? So as y'all know, the only thing we did, we went through this, and then what was the actual outcome? It was just changing the story. What do you mean she hasn't noticed you? She notices you all the time. You just don't notice her noticing you. Bingo, light bulb went off. You're right. It's just a story. Remember, when we talk about awareness, consciousness, presence, awareness, it's just a story that you're telling. It's just a story that you're telling, all right? Explain, okay, the person that you want. Think about the person that you want. That SP, all right? The ex, the person that you're with. Think about them right now. Imagine if your memory of them was erased. You had no recollection of who they were. They would immediately become meaningless to you. What gives them meaning? What makes them so beautiful? It's the story that you attach to them, right? Without your story, they're meaningless. Take your mother, your father, your siblings. Erase your memory of them. They're not your sibling or your mother or your father anymore. Erase your memory of them completely. And now what are they? They're meaningless. They're meaningless until you attach a story. This is reality. This coworker was meaningless until he said she's never noticing me. Then that became the story. That became reality. But the moment you change the story, oh, no. It's not that she isn't noticing me. She's noticing me all the time. I'm just never noticing her notice me. Bingo. Bingo. And then she came up to him like, hey, I've noticed that we've been noticing each other. This is divine. This is beautiful. This is beautiful in such a simple way. I love the real life examples because we can really start breaking them down. We can slice through the BS. We can simply slice through the BS, all right? All right, so you are not separate, manifesting from the unity of the God within. Take a deep breath, all right? Take a deep breath before we go into this. Understand that what we're going to talk about is not for your intellect. It's not for your intellect. I always go through the comments. There was a very interesting comment yesterday, and it was like, I believe that some things that you say, they're contradictory and you confuse people. If y'all are confused, I want you to speak up because I want to make sure this is clear. Right? I want to make sure that what I am saying here is clear. All right? And the topic that was spit out on was, it was a question, do I believe in Reiki? Do I believe in these energetic practices? Of course I believe in them. But do I believe that they have power over me? No. Do I believe that anything outside of me has power over me? No. Everything is energy, right? Everything is energy. Right? So even I think the follow-up was, energy and all of these things, those are part of God. They're not part of God, they are God. There's only one energy, there's only one power. There's only oneness, unity. That's it. There's only one thing, and that's God. Now, when you look out in reality, you're going to see a lot of things, right? You see politics going on. You see religious things going on. You see people preaching on the corners, right? You see all kinds of people that are spreading fear. They're saying, if you do not do this, this is what will happen to you. Now, those things can go on. Absolutely, they can go on. But who gives them power to influence your life? You. Who gives them power? Now, I'm not saying that those things are not real experiences or they are not real energy, but they only have meaning to me if I give them meaning. This is why even Jesus, representing your I am awareness, said, you would have no power over me if not given to you from above, from my state of consciousness, from my awareness. Nothing has power over me. When Pontius Pilate said, hey, look, don't you know I have the power to crucify you? I have the power to kill you. Jesus said, you have no power over me unless given from above. This is the point that I am making, right? This is not a contradictory point. I can say that everything is energy, yes, but whether that energy impacts me or not is all me. It's all me, okay? Now, here's another thing. Do I believe that astrology is real? Of course. Of course. But do I believe that it is a prison for me? Hell no. Of course not. Right? Now, even if I go in, I look at all the big three of me, I see where all my houses are, everything, I get the perfect human design of myself, and I read that. What gives it power to control my life? Me. I can look at this from two perspectives. Well, multiple perspectives. I can look at it and say, I don't give a damn. Push it away. All right? I could look at it and say, okay, this is me. This is me. Cool. Now I'm fit in that box. Or I can say, this is something I can just transcend. I don't have to be stuck to this. Just because I'm a Scorpio, just because I'm a Scorpio doesn't mean I have to walk around being jealous. Who makes the final say so? Me. Me. This is how powerful you are as well. If you walk into a conversation with somebody, let's say you believe in astrology to the core, and they don't. You could tell this person, I know you don't believe in it, but it's true. So it doesn't matter if you believe in it or not. You're still going to show up this way. And guess what? They will. Why will they? Because this is how powerful you are. So these aren't contradictory points. Right? I just want to be very, very clear. because maybe I wasn't clear. I was kind of breezing over this yesterday, and I think it caused a little bit of confusion, right? I want to be very clear. Do I believe that these things exist? Sure. But do I believe that they have power over me? Not unless I give it to them. Nothing has power over you unless you grant it power. All right? Let me take another example. Let me really hit this point. Let's say that you tell somebody to pray for you. You know, a mother's love, a grandmother's love. You tell your grandmother or your mother to pray for you. Do their prayers have power over you and your reality? No. What gives them power? Why all of a sudden do you feel like sometimes other people's prayers work? Because all of a sudden you tell them to pray and you think that somehow that person is closer to source than you, and then what happens? You might have a little bit more faith. You might relax a little bit more. You might tell a different story in your mind. Oh, I know that it's going to happen because this person told me. Who is giving it power? It's you. It's always you. All right? So I want to be clear on this. Yes, things exist. Yes, there are things outside of you. Yes, there's a collective conscious, and we are creating all of these things. As a society, we are creating all of these things, okay? However, I still have the final say-so on what impacts me. If I turn on the TV right now and there's politics on, there are some people that are going to be disgusted. Their whole day is going to be ruined. They're just going to yell at the TV. There's other people who could care less. Who gives it power? You. You. It's always you, right? So this is the point that I'm making when I say, I'm not saying that those things don't exist. I'm saying you have the power, all right? So hopefully that's clear. Hopefully that is clear, all right? So, quote by Neville Goddard, you are already that which you seek. The only thing keeping you from the life that you desire, from what you want, is you refuse to believe right now that you are already that person. Look, you're not on a journey to get worthy. You're not on a journey to get in alignment. You're not in a journey to be more loving. You're not on a journey for any of that shit. You're not on a journey to heal. There was no fall from grace. When we talk about the fall, we're talking about a fall from memory. That's what it is. A fall from memory. Okay? We chase outcomes, validation, love, wealth, and even God as if we are apart from them. But the deepest illusion is separation. And as long as we believe we are separate from the life we desire, we block it from ever fully arriving. Let's give some examples of separation from me and my desire. All right? These things imply separation. I want y'all to catch these things as I say it. Because these real life examples, I believe that these real life examples help. What it do. These real life examples help. All right? Number one. Well, Alex, I know I deserve the life that I want. And I know everything is working out for me. Right? And I'm on this journey of healing. And every day, I'm healing. And I'm getting more and more in alignment with everything that I want. This sounds very, very honorable, right? This sounds very honorable. But what does it imply? It implies separation. I have to continue to move and heal and get better. And eventually I'll be in alignment to get what I want. It's still an illusion of separation. It sounds good. But there's still this illusion of separation there. All right? There's still this illusion of separation. Because I have to strive and reach and perform to get these things. You could never be closer to God than you are right now. Source is closer to you than you are to yourself. Closer to you than your breath. Closer to you than your thoughts. Closer to you than all of these things. You are more source than you are human. The human part of you, the physical part of you, is only 0.0001% reality. The rest of it is energy and empty space. This is the realm of the divine. You are much more source than you are this body. Anything temporary is not really you. It's a real experience. You're going through it, but it's not real. The only thing real about this is I am. The only rule The only law of the universe is I am. Your pure potential, infinite potential. The only law is I am. Everything else abides by the words that you're speaking. You're creating law and reality as you're going through life. Okay? I am. All right? As long as we believe we are separate from the life we desire, we block it from ever fully arriving. All right? Let's give some more examples. I'm going to give two more. I want to hit this point. Well, Alex, I've been trying to stay positive to get what I want. Cool, good. Cool. All right? But I keep seeing things that don't look right. And I know they're working out, but I don't know if I'm reacting correctly to these things when I see them. What is the problem with this? What is the problem with this statement? I just, I see these things, they feel unfavorable, they just don't look right, but I just don't know if I'm responding correctly to them. It's judgment, absolutely. It's judgment, it's judging yourself. But I want to make this very, very clear and easy to understand. You're making it conditional. And making it conditional implies separation as well. If I do this, then I will get this. If I react this right way, I have it. Do you have it or not, right? You have it already. It's yours. There's no separation. There's no separation, right? We sit there and we judge ourselves and we pull ourselves away from our true divinity. Remember, because there's only one law, I am. Everything under that, right? I'm simply ordering source, ordering God through those words. I am. All right? So the moment that I say I have it, it is mine. Now, if I say, I have to react this way, yeah, I'm judging myself. But I'm also implying that I'm separate. If I do not do this the right way, a certain way, then I will not get what I want. It's yours no matter what. I am that I am no matter what. All right? Now let me cook up one more example. See something common. Let's say something common that might be a little bit more subtle. Let's think. Oh, I got one. All right, here we go. This one might be a little bit different. Alex, I know that I deserve this prosperity. I know that I deserve this prosperity. And whenever I, go through situations, I do my best to just go through them and know that I still have prosperity. Cool. But I also know that the prosperity will come through this trading. I've been doing trading. I love trading. It's just not, I'm not getting it completely, but I love it. I know that it's going to click. And whenever it clicks, I'm going to get everything. I'll stop working. I'm going to do all of these things. This one's a little bit more tricky. This one's a little bit more mind expanding of an example. What is the issue with this? Is there an issue with this? All right. Whatever I go through, no matter what I see, I continue to embody prosperity. Perfect. I know trading's going to work for me. I know it will. Right now, I'm saying I'm having my ups and downs, but when it clicks, it will click and the money's going to flow. Okay, cool. That's fine to think like that. Trust now, know you are worthy here and there. Okay, that's one thing. Yeah, I just started. Can't attach to outcomes. That's an interesting answer because I would say you can attach to outcomes, but I would say something different about this. I would say the attachment to how the prosperity is going to come. If you are prosperity, why do you want to limit your prosperity to simply one avenue? It has to come through the market. Why can't your life simply be a reflection of all the prosperity that you want in every way? The gifts you receive, right? The random things that you receive in all these areas of your life. Money just flows. People want to pay me all the time just for my knowledge, just for my information. Prosperity. Right? This is where I would challenge you. So there's nothing truly wrong with that answer. But where I will always push you is to say, okay, what makes you think that your prosperity has to come that way? Why do you believe it has to be that way? Why do you believe it has to come from the market? Why do you believe it has to come from that art? Why do you believe it has to come from this? Why? Remember, the moment we go to the end, I have prosperity, right? The moment that we stand in that end, there are infinite ways for everything to unfold. Infinite. Why lock onto one? Why not allow source to flow through you and touch every single corner of your life? Why not? As you walk through the room, as you walk outside, why not allow prosperity to be everything, right? You get prosperity when people give you free drinks when you go out. Prosperity when your car is always working right. Prosperity when people always want to give you discounts. Right? Prosperity when random opportunities show up for you out of nowhere, out of the blue, unexpected. All right? That's why I would challenge you. Prosperity, right? Allow prosperity to flow in every area. Don't focus in on one thing. Allow your life to be full of prosperity. Right? So that's what I would say. I know that one's a little bit trickier, but that's because I wanted to make that point. We're only limited by our own self. We're only limited by our mind. You're only limited. Okay, let's bring this full circle. There's only one law, I am. So everything is God. And since you are source, right, everything abides by your words. Thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be. There's only one law. Everything is God. You are all that there is. Everything is simply your awareness of it. That's a good way to put it. Everything is simply your awareness of it. Therefore, every time we speak, we are either opening the floodgates of who we are or we are constricting ourselves. If everything is God and there's infinite ways to get everything, then why constrict the flow? Why constrict the flow? Why? In order for us to get something that we want, is there a chance someone we love may die for it to happen? Wow, that was dark, Miss Kelsey. That was dark. Okay, well, from a metaphysical perspective, no. Because there is no death, right? There is no death. Now, could the physical vessel, sure, the physical vessel could end, but do you truly believe that you are, okay, let me just answer this like this. No. Okay, no. 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 But if that's something that you fear, all right, if that is something that you fear, how are you going about putting yourself in the receiving mode for this thing? Like, what is the story that you're telling about it? Are you saying a story that might be malicious to someone else? Well, if you're not, then you have to understand that this entire universe, this entire field that we are in is made of pure love. There's only one energy. Yeah, Florence did have the example. That's immediately what I went to, right? She had the example. It was the house, right? The couple passed away so that she could get the house, or one of her clients could get the house. I remember that. But I don't agree with that, though. I don't agree with that. First of all, there's no death, and there's infinite realities. So just because somebody transitions in this reality doesn't mean that they have in every single one. You know what I'm saying? So we just are switching to the reality that gives us what we want in the way of least resistance. All right, so there's no true death. But if that's something that you fear, go to the truth. There is only love. There is only love. And when I put my mind on what I want, only love can bring it to me. All right? And the implication of love is life. Love and life go hand in hand. All right? Love and life goes hand in hand. Right? We don't have to step over anybody to get what we want. We don't have to step over anybody. We don't have to beat anybody down. We don't have to slit anybody's throat. We don't have to do any of that to get what we want. Everybody can have what they want. This is the when I say, if there's one house, 10 people want that house, who gets the house? All 10. Or 8. or 7 or just one. But me saying just one, right? Only one can do it because there's only one house. That implies there's only one reality. There's only one possibility when there are infinite. They can all have it, right? But not in the same reality, right? Not in the same reality. But everybody can have it. Okay? Cool. All right, so the illusion of otherness, why you can't change what you feel separate from. When you see something as outside of you, you assign it power over you. You become the victim of circumstance, the seeker of something already seated within. Here's a quote from Reality Transurfing. The world is a mirror, reflecting not what you want, but what you are. So whenever I see something as outside of me, I assign it power over me, right? I am the Lord, your God. You should have no false idols. What does that mean? Doesn't mean don't worship a pig statue. Even though you probably shouldn't do it because you're giving your power to something outside of you. But this means putting power into anything outside of you. Thinking that anything is more powerful than you. Right? Whenever I think that somebody is holier than me, more worthy than me, right? I am implying that I do not have the same divine spark within me. I have the same divine spark within me. Whenever I think that I'm greater than someone else, I'm implying that they don't have that same divine spark within me. But in my reality, guess what? Guess who is law in my reality? Me. This is why I say make it about you. So when I'm making these things about myself, right? I'm not saying, I'm going to get this person so I can feel good. But I'm saying I'm the type of person that these things happen to. I'm the type of person who gets what I want. Now I'm making it about me, and now the world must conform. When I make it about other people, now I'm implying that they're greater than me. I'm implying that they're the sun and I'm the planet. When in my reality, I am the sun and they are the planet. This can sound contradictory, but hear me out. Every single person has a spark. Every single person is all of source. All right, hear this. Every single person is all of source. But in your reality, there's infinite realities. But in your reality, you are the single point of consciousness. In their reality, they are the single point of consciousness. There's infinite realities. Okay? No one's better than you, but in your reality, no one has power. In their reality, they have all the power. All right? And how would this extrapolate to wealth and getting rich? Knowing who you are is wealth, right? I am the way. Knowing that your I am awareness, knowing that I am is who you are, and declaring I am prosperity, that is the way to get that money. That is the way to get your wealth, right? You're already divinely and naturally wealthy in all areas of your life. The only thing that keeps us from being wealthy in this physical reality is that we put this barrier in between who we are right now and who we think we would be if we were wealthy. But you are right now as worthy as you'll ever be. You'll never be more worthy. You'll never be more in alignment. You'll never be more powerful. You'll never be more loving. You'll never be all of these attributes of the things that you want. So that is the key. It is to reduce the separation between who you think you are and who you really are. All right? This is where the work is. This is where the work is. Okay? What I don't align with his control. Bro, what the fuck? That shit scared the hell out of me. I cleaned out my freezer last night. Anyways, long story short, I'm in the process of moving. So all kinds of shit is going on in my spot right now. All right. So anyways, to manifest is not to force something into being, but to recognize what already is. You do not manifest what you want. You manifest what you are aware of being. That awareness either unites or divides. Oh shit, I know what it is. I took out the tray for the ice maker to clean it. I had to put that shit back in. I think the ice is just falling on the fucking floor. All right. The idea of other, okay? The idea of other people, other sources, other powers is the barrier. The idea of separation will always be the barrier. You cannot change what you disown. You can't change what you don't take accountability for. Oh, this is me. Right? When I'm running from things, trying to avoid things, I'm not accepting the fact that this is me. What you deny, right, you cannot change. What you place outside of you, you cannot change. Remember the truth. Remember the truth. There is no spoon. All right. So you must become it. You must merge with the frequency of what you desire. Now we're going to break that down because that word frequency always sounds so mystical, right? Nobody's going to put a measuring stick to your head and say, you're in the frequency of prosperity. So what is a frequency? What is a vibration? All right. So you must merge with the frequency of what you desire, not as an effort, but as a remembrance. That's the most important part. Not as an effort, but as a remembrance. All right. So let's break that down. What is the frequency of prosperity? What is the frequency of prosperity for love? Right? Remember, let me give you a couple hints. In the beginning was the word. Right? When light was made, right? It didn't say, when light was made, right? It didn't say, I'm going to feel light. And then light showed up. It simply said, let there be light. It didn't say God first felt light. And then light came on, right? So what is this frequency that we're talking about? The frequency, the vibration is the story. All reality is, it is your awareness of stories. You're telling a story of what things are, and then reality changes to match them. All right, so let's give an example. What is the frequency of prosperity? Yeah, internal narrative, but let's make it even simpler. Let's demystify it, right? What is the frequency of prosperity? The frequency of prosperity is I am prosperity. I am prosperity. That's the frequency of prosperity. The moment I declare that I am it, there is no time, right? There is no time in between when I say it to when I am it. I am it now. I am prosperity. Now I am the frequency of prosperity. Now what happens when I remember who I am? What happens is reality rearranges. So we think that we are rearranging to strive and become more. You are already all that there is. You're already source. You're already made in the perfect image of the Creator. Because you are, you have everything within you. You are the universe with a name. You are the universe who just happens to be shoved into skin and you're walking around saying words. You are all that there is, so you already have everything. All right? So now, when I embody that, what happens is that reality rearranges to match me because reality is me. So I even say, even as within, so without is not profound enough. You simply are reality. You simply are. Everything rearranges to be you. So when we're talking about the vibration, the frequency, we're not talking about a feeling. We're not talking about a feeling. We're talking about your faithfulness, your commitment to your new story. That is what it is. Your faithfulness, your commitment to the story. Before you get that SP to commit to you, guess who you have to commit to? Your damn self. Before you get that prosperity and that money to commit to you, who do you have to commit to? Your damn self. You have to commit to that same story. You have to commit to telling that same story to you. How? Easy. How? Easy. Know that you are it right now. Don't try to be it. Don't try to reach to be it. Simply know that you are everything that there is. You are source. Just know. Be faithful to that story. Stop trying to be worthy and simply know that you are worthy because you are source. Grant it to yourself. Commit to that. Commit to this new story. This is all reality. It's just a story. This is how simple it is, y'all. It is just a story. There is only God. There is only source. There is only infinite energy. That's it. And now your words paint the picture of how this energy operates in your life. It's as simple as that. You commit to that story by telling the same story. That's it. That is it. All right? So Neville Goddard quote, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Remember, when he said feeling, he said, when I speak of feelings, I am not speaking of emotions, but the knowing that you already are that person. So even when he said feeling is a secret, he wasn't talking about your emotions. He wasn't talking about walking around when the rent is due and, still being happy, still having a feeling of prosperity. Who can even explain what the feeling of prosperity is? People will say, and if you had all this money, how would you be? Well, happy and I guess I'd be a little bit cooler. Well, that's very difficult for me to embody right now when people are knocking on your door saying the rent is due. Well, you're trying to dodge the people that are trying to repo your car. When the bills are piling up, when the medical bills are piling up, it's very difficult to do. However, I can keep the same story. I can continuously stay faithful to the story. Situation might not look ideal, but the God within me is perfect, so the situation must be unfolding perfectly. Situation might not look ideal, but the God within me is perfect, so the situation must be unfolding perfectly. Hopefully this is light bulbs. Hopefully this is, you remember, this is not a journey of doing. What do I have to do is the wrong question. What do I have to remember that I already am? The fall, remember we talked about the fall earlier. There was never a fall from grace. There was never a fall from grace. The fall was from memory. This is the return to memory. What do you have to do to get the life that you desire? Nothing. What do you have to remember to get the life that you desire? That is the question. You have to remember that you already are all that there is. This is what it means when it says, seek ye first the kingdom, and then all things will be added unto thee. That's what it means. Seek ye first the kingdom, and then all things will be added unto thee. All right? And so even that, right? The importance of eating good food. There are cognitive benefits, of course. There are spiritual benefits, of course. But let me really ask this question. What is more damaging? What is more damaging? What you actually eat or your belief about them? What is more damaging? What you eat or your belief about them? If I believe that this person is cheating, guess what they are? If I believe that this food is taking me out of my vibration, what is going to happen? It's your belief about it. Now, I'm not saying that you should just shove your body with all kinds of nonsense, right? It's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that up here, right? I know people who I'm starting to see a lot of stuff working with y'all, right? Where people do not change their diet at all, but have stepped into the identity of someone who has their dream body no matter what they eat. And guess what happens? 2 months later, hey, I've been dropping weight, been getting more muscle. Hadn't even been really working out more. Been eating whatever I wanted. Why is that? How is that, right? Remember, even when we start spreading information, the mind is the most powerful. Okay. Think about it like this, okay? Right now you are in a video game. You're in a construct. You ever seen The Matrix? There's a scene when the dude, before he betrays everybody, he's eating the steak with the agent. And he said, I know this isn't real, but I can taste it. It tastes juicy. I can taste it, but I want to go back to not remembering. This was profound for a very important reason. Every time you watch The Matrix, you just catch something new. This is profound for a certain reason. Why? If you really think about it, there is only one substance in this universe. It is God, right? It is source. Now, we look at this from different perspectives and we make a periodic table and we explain everything in a different way, but there's only God. There's only God. All right? Stay with me. I'm going somewhere with this. There's only God. So when you pick up a fruit, what are you eating? You might taste it, right? It has a taste, has a texture. But what are you eating? We can break it down atomically, but you're eating source, right? It's just as if you were a character in a video game. It doesn't matter what you eat, right? You're just eating the pixels. And when you eat those pixels, right, you get different attributes and different things happen to you, right? Just like a video game. Based on how the video game is programmed. Who's doing the programming? Who is the one who's doing the programming? It's you, right? It's me, it's you. We're the ones who's programming. We're the ones. Remember, you're the one. When I say life is meaningless until you give it meaning. When I say if you erase your memory of your mother, you completely erase your memory of your mother and you just open your eyes and saw her, she would be meaningless, right? Who programs the meaning of her? You do. You program the meaning of this, right? So I can't say on one hand that your thoughts and your beliefs and your expectations create reality, and then say on the other hand you have to stick to what other people say. That would be contradicting, right? Can't say that. So who has the ultimate say-so in all of these? And yeah, you're absolutely right. People do say that food is energy. Absolutely. People do say that they vibrate at different speeds. Absolutely. But since source is within me, I always know what speed I vibrate at, the highest. Because source is within me, I always know what speed I vibrate at, right? I can let other people argue for their limitations. That's fine. Now, do I still watch what I eat? Yeah. I watch what I eat because it makes me feel good. But am I going to sit here and tell you that because you eat a certain thing, you can't get what you want? You can't go see your ancestors. You can't do these things? I'm not going to tell you that. There's also different bodily structures that function differently with different food from a physiological, from a science perspective. But what is science but an idea on the unexplainable? So, yeah, it's good that we take advice from other people and hear things from other people. But the moment, anything, hear this, because I'm glad we talked about food, because this can be used with all types of things. Okay? This can be used with all types of things. Anything that implies that right now I'm not the person in perfect alignment with what I want is an illusion. Whether it's food, whether it's because I'm not working out, whether it's because I'm not affirming in the right voice, whether it's whatever, anything that implies I'm not that person is an illusion. So you always have the last say so. You always have the last word. This journey is about remembrance. It's about remembering who you are. There's only I am. There is only source. And your words direct I am throughout your reality. Everything is a limitation. Everything is a limitation. There is only I am. There is I am all that there is. Everything after I am is a limitation. Which ones are you going to limit yourself to? All right. And then should you spend money like you are very financially stable, even though you're not? If it's going to put you in a bad situation, of course not. Of course not. But you should know right now that you still are prosperity. You still are prosperity. You should allow that to flow to you. But no, you don't put yourself in an irresponsible position. It'd be the same, but you have to understand that no matter, right, what I see in reality, I am who I am. And reality must rearrange to match me. It would be like me saying, okay, yeah, I have this person, right? All right, let's say I have this person. I've declared it. But in reality, I look out and I don't see her with me. Now, if somebody asks me where this woman is, I'm not going to be like, oh, she's at the crib in my bed. They might look at you a little crazy, right? And you might hear them sirens pulling up to your crib in a couple minutes, right? So we still are in this timeline. I'm still here. Right? I'm right here. But I know that this is reality. I know I am is reality. What I declare, what I decree is reality. Therefore, reality must cooperate. This is why, like when you start asking those questions, what do I have to do to get it? Wrong question. What do I have to do to get it? Nothing. That implies it's conditional. Oh, if I don't give to charity, I can't give money. If I don't do this or react a certain way, I can't get it. That implies condition, and this is unconditional. Unconditional. So stay in that truth, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's already here. And every step that you take, reality is unfolding. It's rearranging to match who you are. The moment you say you are something, remember, God only has to hear you once. Source heard you the first time. So the moment that I say I am it, everything must change. Reality must change to match me. There's still some things that are going to fade away, right? Because imagine if the moment that I declare something, if everything just instantly changed, right? Things would be crazy. Planes would be falling out the sky. Planets would be doing all kinds of stuff. Trees would just be getting uprooted, right? So there still has to be some kind of logic based to this. Right. Not saying things can be instant, because what you'll see is the longer you're on this journey, things will be very, very instant. Right. Now, even to these days, right, I don't really call people. If I want to talk to somebody, I simply think about them, allow them to call me. Right? So things are very, very instant. The more your awareness, the more you focus on your awareness, right? Your presence. All right. Isn't there an action involved? It's not that you stay like a stone, still. There's always something that you can do, but there's nothing you need to do. If it feels wrong for you to sit still, then move. But don't move to try to manipulate God, right? Simply move because you're a human being and you want to go out and experience life and you want to try new things and learn new things and open more portals for money to flow through to you. So you open up your mind to try to do new things. But to think that I have to do something to move around. Now, if you're saying like I can't just sit in meditation for 50 hours, 50 days straight, right, and not get prosperity, I would ask you, why do you think that? Why can't you? Why can't you? If you have to move, you have to move, right? Even Scripture tells you, be still and know that I'm God. It doesn't tell you move around and know that I'm God. So if you have to move, you will. This is the point, is that if you need to do something, you will be inclined to do it. Right? This is why even when we're talking about a person, getting a person, okay, what do I do if I see something I don't like? It doesn't matter. You can block them. You can block them if you want. Don't worry. When they come back, they'll figure out how to talk to you. You can argue with them if you want. It doesn't matter. You still have them. It does not matter. If something has to take place, it will. Remember, the moment I say that I am something, every single person on this planet turns and faces me and says, okay, how can we help you get to where you need to be? So if someone needs to call you and move you, they will. Somebody needs to text you and move you, they will. If you get a letter in the mail that you need to go check, you will. It will happen, right? We think with our human minds that we have to do something a certain way to get it. There's infinite ways to get what you want, right? I'll tell you one of the most amazing stories I've heard. And I've told this a couple of times, but one of the most amazing stories that I heard about money, right, is one of my clients. She needed some money. And it was a large amount. It wasn't like 10K. It was a big amount of money. Okay. He was like, it's already mine. I'm not finna do anything to it. I'm not finna do anything for it. I don't care. It's already mine. All right, cool. So she had people over one night. And when she had these people over, after they all left, she found a lottery ticket. She found a lottery ticket. Called all of them. Whose is this? Everybody said, hell no, I didn't leave a lottery ticket. I didn't play the lottery. Checked it and won the amount of money she needed. Now, sounds like a miracle, right? What actually happened? What actually happened? Well, there's infinite realities. There's a reality where she got a lottery ticket. And it was there. There's a reality where one of her friends got the lottery ticket and then left that reality. There's all kinds of realities. We're only limited. When you start seeing life like a miracle, things unfold in ways that you can't expect. And relating to an exam, if I wish to top that, I will embody the version who does it, but I still have to study to answer the questions. Yeah, if you feel that way, yes, you do. Yes, you do. If you feel that way, yes, you do. But I've also seen cases where people have changed things, changed test scores in their past. I've seen situations where people have woken up to different amounts of money in their bank. So, remember, things show up in our life at the capacity that we are able to receive. The more that I'm able to open my mind to the miracles around me, the more I'm able to see it. The more logical and constricted I am, the more I can only see logic and confinement in my reality, right? At this point, it doesn't matter. Like, I would not be surprised by anything that I hear these days, right? You go to sleep needing money and wake up with it in your bank account. I've told y'all the story about me. I didn't know how I was going to pay the rent. A couple places ago, I was going to get evicted. I was and then all of a sudden it was just paid out of thin air. Who did this? Another version of me? I don't know. Some random person? I don't know. But it's It's your commitment to the end that paves the way. Now, if you truly do not believe, right, that you could pass this without studying, then don't do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. But there are no limitations, none. It's incredible the things that can happen when you go to the end and stay there, and you open your mind to, this is the same power within me that created everything. This is the same power within me that created everything. Everything. Surely it can give you a couple dollars. It can do it, and it can do it in a way that does not make you lift a finger. Right? Staying in the end creates the way. Absolutely. Staying in the end creates the way. Do I not believe that we come here with karma and that plays a role? I believe that the karma can play a role if that's what you believe. Right? I don't deny things like that. I don't deny that karma exists. I don't deny that some people have the belief that they come down here and they come down here and they have lessons to learn and they have to suffer for their soul's development. I'm not denying those stories, but who gives power to them? Okay, so if I walk around believing that if I do bad things will happen, who's giving power to that? If I sit around and I'm like, past lives, I don't even remember these lives, but things happen in them and now I have to pay for those. Who's creating that shit? Me, right? So does karma? Yeah, of course. It's in so many ancient teachings. Absolutely. Absolutely. But what I'm saying is that even though those things exist and they're spoken, you still have the ability to say, do I accept this or not? How do you transcend karma? Right? Understand there's only one law. Understand the law of being, source, God, all that there is transcends all of this. Every single one of these laws under I am, it abides. It abides by that law. No exception. There is only one law, I am. Everything else is a concession to that law. So karma is a concession to it. What does karma really come down to? Well, it comes down to a belief. If I believe that good things will happen if I do good things and bad things happen when I do bad things, and I start judging my past, guess what? I'm creating that reality. Right? I'm creating that reality. Yeah. It can be information, it can be all those things, right? But at the end, bottom line is that we have the ability to transcend all of that. There's nothing you can't transcend. I am is above everything. I am is the only law. I am is the only law you need to be aware of. I am. Whatever I say I am, that's what it is. What I say it is, that's what it is. All right? Which can actually bring you a lot of peace when you understand that, right? Because when we talk about things like the subconscious mind, why is that powerful? Because I program it. But nobody can prove to you it exists. I can tell you, I can read a book about it right now. I can go talk to scientists about it right now, but nobody can show you it. What makes it real? My belief in it. My belief that if I have to reprogram, or if I reprogram this, then I'll get the life I want. That there's something within me keeping me from my dreams. Right? I'm the one who says that, right? Exactly. There's only right now. There's only one moment. The past is a memory. The past is a thought. Your memories are thoughts. The future are simply thoughts, right? That's all that they are. Right now is the only thing that exists. And right now you have the potential to choose whatever you want. Whatever you want. Okay? Where there is no resistance, and this action is not even considered as doing. I got you. This action is not even considered as doing, but as being. Being is the law, right? I am. I already am everything that I desire to be right now. I am already everything I desire to be right now. Right? This is the message of Yeshua. Jesus, whatever you want to call him, your I am awareness. This was the message. You are God's, right? You are the sons of the Most High. You are your own Savior. You are everything that you desire to be. You are everything you desire to be. Right? And do I have a few tips to I am? Well, I would say, I guess the main thing that I would say, and I think it's the recurring theme, is I am transcends feelings. Your I amness, right? I am does not need your ego on board. I am doesn't need your feelings. I am doesn't need your love. I am doesn't need your gratitude. I am doesn't need your forgiveness. I am doesn't need your repentance. I am simply needs your commitment to the story. That's it. I am is above all of these human constructs. I am, that was a bar. I am is a fact. When we say I am the way, I am the truth, the light, the life, what does those things mean? It means, doesn't matter what you feel, I am is the truth. Doesn't matter what you quote unquote believe, especially when we attach believing to a feeling, I am is the truth. Doesn't matter if you know how you're going to get there, I am is the way. So don't worry so much about feeling things. Don't worry so much about feeling. Don't worry so much about the doubt, the feeling of doubt and anxiety and all these fleeting feelings. I am cannot be defined by anything temporary. The ego's temporary. You got it this life. The body is temporary. The circumstance out there is temporary. Your feelings are temporary. I am is untouched by all of this. It just is. So be committed to your story. I am all that there is. Therefore, I can have everything that I already am. So I can have everything, right? Should I get caught up in the verbiage of my thoughts and then that trips me up when I try to speak it? Remember, what is the verse? I'm sure somebody knows the actual verse that says, take no mind in asking your Father what to eat or what to drink, for your Father in heaven already knows it. Basically, it's a calling to stop trying to micromanage how we declare things and understand that you are source. God is closer to you than you are to yourself. Closer to you than you are to yourself. And if that is the case, then the vagueness or the specificity of your request is irrelevant. That's not the power. That is not where the power is. The power is in your oneness with that creator, your source. You're walking in the knowing of who you are. That's it. That is where the power is. Matthew 6. I love when y'all jump in and are like, here you go. Here you go. Because I've never really been good at quoting exact scripture, right? Or remembering, chapters and verses like that. Take no thought for your life. Take no thought for it. Right? Decree it and move on, knowing that your Father in heaven knows you have need for these things. Your Father in heaven knows you have need for these things. Right? So it's not about specifics. It's not about, am I affirming right or visualizing right? Those things don't matter. It's not where the power is. You're the power. The power is in your oneness. And your ability to go back to knowing who you are, to knowing it's already done. It's already done. Yeah, before you ask, it's already done. I appreciate you for being here. I appreciate you for being here. All right? I appreciate you for being here. I've been really loving y'all success stories too. I've been loving y'all success stories, man. Keep sending them. And if y'all give me permission to use them, tell me that as well. So appreciate y'all. Said we in amnesia. How do you overcome this? Okay, this is gonna sound really, really simple. Stop trying to remember and just know who you are. Right? all of the searching for information. The searching for information, just do that because it's fun. But stop trying to remember. Stop striving to be something different, and just know that you are source. Just know that you are source. Right? Don't try to be source. Don't try to remember. Don't try to be worthy. Don't try to be in alignment. Just know, right? Just assume. When we talk about the law of assumption, the law of being, what is being? Being is breathing. Just know that no matter what you think, no matter what you feel, no matter what you see, you are everything that you desire to be. Let go and trust. Yes, absolutely. Let go and trust. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that source is within you. Mr. Andrew, I appreciate you, my brother. I appreciate you, my brother. We all in this journey together. You already knew I was going to say that. We're all in this journey together, right? This is why we're here. To get the reality, to get the life that you desire, right? Remember, striving, what do I have to do? What do I have to be? These are trick questions. They're traps. They seem very innocent, but I want you to catch yourself when you start saying that. I want you to catch yourself when you start saying, okay, what do I have to do? What do I have to reach? What do I have to strive for? These things imply separation. What do I have to remember that I already am? I already am everything that I desire to be. I'm already everything I desire to be. I am that I am, no matter what. This is why I'll constantly, when I do these affirmations, I always say that. If you don't, lately I've been saying it all the time. I am that I am, no matter what. Because no matter what, it's just a reminder. You just tag it on the end. It's a reminder that I've decreed it. I am that I am. I am prosperity no matter what. No matter what means no matter what I feel, no matter if I'm doubting, no matter what the circumstance looks like, no matter even if I catch myself for 2 minutes thinking the wrong way, I remind myself this is the only moment that matters. And who I am right now overrides the past and revises the future because there's only now. Remember, there's only now. There is no past. There is no future. Even when I'm imagining the past, where am I doing it? Right now. You've only lived right now. You've only lived right now. You've only ever been in the now moment. No matter what. It doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what I feel. It doesn't matter any of that shit. No matter what I am that I am. You are everything, no matter what. No matter what. Yeah, no matter what is a game changer. It helps a lot. It just keeps you grounded, keeps you centered, right? Because emotions are like the weather, right? They come and they go. You know, you never know. You might get some bad news and you might be down. You might see something you don't like and it throws you off. But I can always go back to the knowing I am that I am no matter what. No matter what I see, I am still source, which is very assuring. It's very reassuring. All right, source is with me 100%. Through thick and thin, no matter what. No matter what. Man, I just veered all the way off of this lecture. 1 second. Let's get back to it. All right. All right. So awareness is the projector of reality. We're going to finish this up. All right. Reality is not solid. It is not fixed. It is molded by the quality of your awareness. So when we talk about reality, what is reality? Reality is simply molded by the quality of your awareness. That's all reality is. We talked about this. Remove your memory of anything and that thing becomes meaningless. So when I say reality is meaningless, I'm not saying it from a right now moment. I'm saying it's meaningless without you. You give meaning to everything. You are walking around painting your world. Your story paints your world, okay? So, quote from Reality Transurfing, the outer world is a reflection of the inner world, right? Vadim Zeland. The outer world is a reflection of the inner world, right? Your awareness is the film, and consciousness is the projector. What you hold in the theater of your mind becomes the scene in the theater of your life. Not because you work harder, but because you see clearer. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? This is why integration is more powerful than chasing. Integration, telling that same story, is always more powerful than chasing. If you chase abundance, if you strive to be worthy, if you try to embody power, you are not abundant. It implies that if I try to be worthy, it implies that I am not. Just be still and know that I am God. Take that very literally. Be still and know that you are God. Just be still. Stop trying to chase worthiness. Stop trying to chase abundance. Relax into your body. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am. Right? And then how to live in the end with SB. Go to the end and stay there. The moment that you declare it, okay? All right. You ain't got to tell all that story. The moment that you declare, you already have it. You're not in no contact. You already have them. You're not in anything. You are in the end. You can't say that I am in the end and say that I am in no contact. You are in the end right now. You have them. Now, think like this. This is a good reminder for everybody. When it comes to money, when it comes to your people, all these things that y'all want, okay? The moment that you decide that you have something and you declare it, guess what? You have it. You are the person who has it. Point blank, period. Now, where you are right now and where you want to be, guess what? Reality has to change, right? It has to rearrange to get you there. Okay, cool. Right? Obviously. Reality has to change. How does it do that? How does reality change to what you want? It changes, right? It shifts, okay? So from right now to when reality actually reflects you, reality has to change. Cool. Therefore, everything that I see as change is what? It's evidence that everything is working out for me. Everything that changes is evidence. I already know the pushback. Well, what if it doesn't look right? Okay. Job 22:28, right? Thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be added unto thee. Meaning whatever you say it is, that's what it is. So why are you saying that it's not working out? What did Jesus say? Do not judge by appearance, but judge with righteous judgment. What does that mean? Don't judge by appearance, but judge righteously. Judge it in alignment with who you really are, with what you want, with who you really are. That was a bar. Judge it based on who you really are. Who are you really? Well, you're whoever you just decreed yourself to be, right? So I have this person. All right, I decree myself to be that person. And now I move forward. Fear and anxiety, sure, they happen. They come up. But who is telling the story that those things matter? Who is the awareness? Remember, there's only awareness. There's only I am. There's one power. It's I am. Right? There's God. That is the only story. Now, everything, right, after that story is me. I'm just telling stories to direct God. So fear and anxiety, they're natural. They come up, right? If you're going to lose your car, if you saw them with another person, maybe you would have fear and anxiety because you're human, right? It's part of your experience. Do you allow your fear and anxiety to give you a excuse to tell the story of what you don't want? If anything is changing, if you see anything, that simply means reality has to change to get you what you want. That's it. That is it. Fear and anxiety are meaningless until you give it meaning, right? Reality is meaning. When we say that reality is meaningless, this is what I mean. Nothing matters until you give it meaning. Your feelings don't matter until you give it meaning. Until you say, oh, this is bad, and it means I'm out of alignment. How could you be out of alignment? You're God. You can't be out of alignment. It's impossible. But because you've bit of that fruit of the knowledge of good and evil, now you can choose what you want and what you don't want, what you like and what you don't like. So you say, oh, I'm not in alignment because I feel fear, and reality says, okay, cool. Let's give you more of that. That's it. You're the one creating. There's only I am. Everything after that is you directing God. All right? And so that's another good question. How do you fix it? What if you never do? What if your fear and anxiety never goes away? What if you always feel fear and anxiety in certain things? What if you do? Is that going to stop you from getting what you want? Hell no, it's not. Just go to the end and stay there. Understand that your anxiety, your fear are just part of your journey. What do I have to believe to be true? What do I have to believe to be true? All right? Let's pause for a second. All right? Let's take a deep breath right now. How do I imagine that I'm in a blissful marriage with SP when it's not in a 3D? Let's take a breath right now. Okay? Let's take a breath right now. Now slow down. Because I just said, right, when you decree it, you have it. And now you're trying to add extra steps. You're saying, oh, I have to visualize it. How do I imagine it? Who says you have to? Who says that you have to do that? All right? If you want to visualize, okay, first of all, the visualization has no power. Without you, it has no power. It's like a car with no engine. All right? It's like a car with no engine. It has no power. Hear this clearly. You are the only person, the only thing, the only being with power in your reality. No one else has free will. Okay? No one else has free will. Now, this is what I want you to remember. Okay? The only thing that matters is your decree. Thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be. All right? Whatsoever you ask the Father in my name will be given to you. When we hear that, in my name, we think in the name of Jesus. What this means is your I am awareness. Remember, this book of the Bible is a very internal book. So when we say in my name, we're talking about within the name of your I am awareness. I am this. Whatsoever you ask the Father in my name will be given to you. All right? It doesn't say whatsoever you visualize will be given to you. Okay? Y'all hear this. Hear this. It does not say whatever you visualize will be given to you. It doesn't say whatever you feel will be given to you. It doesn't say whatever you reprogram your subconscious to believe will be given to you. It doesn't say whatever you regulate your nervous system will be given to you. All right. Then it also says what? It says in the beginning was the word. It didn't say in the beginning was the feeling. In the beginning was the nervous system, the subconscious. None of it. It says in the beginning was the word, right? This is what matters, your words. Your feelings have no power. From now on, this is what I want you to believe. To know, not even believe, right? Your feelings have no power. They only have power if you give them power. There's only I am. There's only awareness. There's only the word. Everything else is a concession to it. Once you say you have it, you have it. It doesn't matter how you feel. It does not matter what you see. It does not matter what you see. It does not matter what you feel. You already have it. And because you already have it, walk accordingly, knowing that it will change. How do you imagine in a blissful relationship if you don't see it in 3D? Shit, I don't know. Maybe you can't. But because you said it, you have it. Now walk in that knowing, and everything that you see, just give it proof that you're getting what you want. This is that spiritual backbone I want y'all to develop, right? That spiritual backbone. Everything is working out for me no matter what. Everything is working out for me no matter what. All right? Cool. All right, so integration versus chasing. All right, cool. Got my battery up. Let's put y'all back over here. Excuse me. Look at that. There's a bar right there. The trap of what do I have to do or be is the trap to perform versus play/rest. Play/rest is the work. Exactly. The trap of what do I have to do or be. This is the trap to perform versus play/rest. You already have it. There's nothing to do. There's always something you can do, but there's nothing to do. There's nothing to do. All right. So chasing versus integration versus chasing. Chasing is the path of the disconnected. Integration is the return to self. Chasing is rooted in lack. It assumes the thing you seek is over there. Integration begins with the inner knowing. I am that. I am already whole. I am already aligned. I am already that. I am already whole. I am already God. I am already aligned. And what do I think about this or something better? I think it's one and the same. You can have exactly what you want, but know this. If you sit around right now and you imagine the worst thing possible happening, it wouldn't be as bad, right? You go, oh, okay, it wasn't as bad as I was thinking. God had me. This is how we typically use our faith. We're like, oh, well, I guess it wasn't as bad as I imagined it would be. God actually had me. All right. So Source doesn't operate in bare minimums. God always operates greater than you can imagine. So even when you think of the things you want, it shows up in a way that's better than you can imagine. So when I say that's not, like when I say this or something better, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, oh, you want this person and you can't have it because you deserve something better. You can have whatever you want. It says, whatsoever you ask for in prayer will be given to you, right? It doesn't say whatsoever you ask, if it's the right thing, if it's the righteous thing that's for you and it's not an ego desire will be given to you, right? Who is the one who makes it conditional? It's us. We're the one who adds these conditions as excuses for why we don't have what we want. And then can we come back from desperation? Yeah, absolutely. You're new right now. Who's still making the desperation real right now? There's only this moment, right? The past doesn't exist. This is why even saying things like, oh, I've been affirming and visualizing, but nothing is happening is so dangerous. Why is that so dangerous? Why is that so dangerous? Well, it's dangerous because I'm saying, oh, I've been doing this, but I don't have it. I'm affirming right now that I don't have it, and reality says yes. All right? These desperation is something I can come back for. Of course. Coming back from it would be implying that reality is solid. It would be implying that the past has power over the present, and it doesn't. Like I always tell y'all, you don't have to go through the past to get to the present. We think that the past is some solid thing we have to navigate through to get forward. That's what we think, but I say, is this a Bible study? No. We think that this is a past that we have to go through to get something in the future, but we don't. The past is just a thought. You believing that you are distracted or you believing that you were desperate and trying to get over it is simply you bringing the desperation into the present moment. That's all you're doing, is you are affirming desperation from right now. You're giving it power over you. You should have no power over me unless given to you from above. Hopefully these conversations are starting to click. Hopefully these conversations are starting to click, right? Where everything that you ask me that implies you do not have what you want, you start saying, oh shit, it's an illusion. It implies I don't have what I want. It's an illusion. I want y'all to become your own counselors on this. I want you to give yourself your own masterclass. If you could write down how you feel about your desires and what's been going on, write to yourself like you are your own coach. Write to yourself like you're your own coach, and then start to X out limiting beliefs. Start to rearrange so everything implies that you have it right now. That's it. That's the game right there. This is a journey of self-discovery. The journey to God is a journey of self-discovery. It's a journey of remembrance. It's not a journey of adding. You're not adding shit. You're removing all those limiting beliefs. All those beliefs of separation. Anything that does not imply oneness, remove it. Anything that does not imply oneness, remove it. Now, so I do quote scripture a lot, but I wouldn't call this Bible study at all. I do quote scripture a lot, but I would not call this Bible study by any means. All right. So, Neville Goddard quote. Dare to believe in the reality of your assumption and watch the world play its part relative to its fulfillment. Like the whole world is the all-seeing eye. And so the moment that you have an expectation, everything turns to you and what? It says, aha, we'll give you this. The entire reality, everybody that your SP, right? Everybody that you want, all the money you want, it's waiting for your expectation. You don't want to be delusional? Why not? What is life but delusion? When are you not delusional? When are you not delusional? What is reality except for your delusional thoughts? That's it. When are you not delusional? We'll say things like, oh, I don't want to be delusional. What do you mean? What do you mean don't be delusional? Okay, so if you have a dream and you tell it to somebody that's small-minded than you, right? And they say, just be realistic. All of a sudden, you're going to start thinking delusionally negative, right? So you're always living in the end of some dream. You're always living in the end of some dream. You're always being delusional about something. Just choose to be delusional about things you actually want to receive. There we go, Katie. There we go, Katie. I see other people and they have different views and perspectives, and I have my own, and I feel alone and alienated that what I am doing is right, and why don't other people feel the same? Okay, so hear this. You can't save anyone. There are things you believe now that you probably didn't believe before, right? There are things that you probably believe today that nobody could have told you 5 years ago, 10 years ago. You would have looked at them and said, I'm going to put a straitjacket on you. You are tripping. The same grace that God gave you to get to this point in your journey is the same grace you have to give to other people. You have to give that same grace to other people. Meet people where they are, right? You can drop a seed, but if I'm starting to get frustrated because people are not getting what I want or getting what I'm saying, they're not believing me. This is the same problem that religions and spiritual perspectives have on others. Is I'm speaking my truth, and then all of a sudden somebody comes in and they're like, no, this is the right way. This is better. Repent, do this, right? It's pure spiritual ego. You believing that, you know what I'm saying, that my beliefs aren't valid. Now, the thing about a spiritual perspective is because of the infinite nature of who we are, we do form extreme attachments to our beliefs. As humans, we form extreme attachments to our beliefs. If you're getting to a point where you believe other people's beliefs aren't valid, even though you believe them yourself at one time, and you are trying to convert them in a way that infringes on, that pulls you out of your, basically, if you get to a point where you're trying to change people, and it's messing with you more than it is them. You're the one sitting around getting frustrated. It's typically a time to really think about what you're doing. Like, why am I doing that? Why am I doing that? To understand that source is close to everybody. That God is close to everybody. God is not judging. God loves you unconditionally. To understand that means I have no need to convert anybody to my perspective. Who's to say that any of us will believe the same shit we believe now in 5 years? How many times do people jump on here and be like, bro, I know what you're saying is true because I used to believe it, but now I had to convert to this and follow this path or else you'll die and go there. It's like, okay, who's to say I won't believe something differently? Who's to say that we won't evolve? Right? So what is it that is convincing me? What is it that's making me want to change people? Right? If people resonate with it, cool. If you can help people, cool. But if people don't want to be helped, right? This is like me sitting around. Let's say that you got a homeboy or a homegirl that keeps picking this shitty person, this person that keeps cheating on them or abusing them, and they're going back. And you're getting so frustrated telling them to stay away that now you're the one crying. They're laid up with this person and you're the one crying like, I just keep telling her. I just keep telling them not to go back. I don't know what's wrong with them. All right, let's think about this. You can't save anybody. You can't pull anybody to salvation unless they're ready to make that choice for themselves. We have to give people grace, right? We have to give people grace the same way that God gives us grace. Right? So when we're trying to, I really want y'all to do that. When you're trying to change people to your beliefs, question it. Okay, is this ego? It typically is. It typically is. It typically is. Who is God? You keep asking these Jesus questions. Who is God? That's all I've been talking about is God. God is everything. God is all that there is. Source is all that there is. All that there is. Everything. This microphone is God. You are God. We are all God, right? God is the animals. God is the tree. God is everything. God is pure spirit, right? But you are the identity of that creator, right? God is pure spirit. You are the identity of that spirit, right? And Jesus is really simply a representation of your highest self. Now, did Jesus exist as a real person who walked this reality? Sure. You can make arguments either way. It doesn't matter to me, but I'm more concerned with the message, right? And what's the point of going to church, Brent? I don't go to church. I do go to church. So here's another thing about meeting people where they at. I do go to church with my parents from time to time. When they want to, I'll go with them. If they ask me to go, I'm not finna sit around and be like, oh, I don't believe in that shit. I'll go just because it gives me quality time with them. And I'll try not to judge my artists, right? However, it is what it is, right? The purpose of praying is every word that you speak is prayer. Everything that you speak is prayer. And who's to say with my belief right now, I can't get something out of church? I can hear a new verse, right? I can hear a new perspective of a story. Everything is expansion, right? There's always opportunities to grow. There's if you added up all the perspectives and the knowledge of every single person who's ever walked this planet, just this planet, man, it still would be a drop in the bucket, a drop in the ocean of what infinite intelligence is. So there's always something to learn. There's always a perspective that you can grow from. There's always something that you can reach for, right? Yeah. And honestly, I just like information. I like to expand. I like to hear new perspectives. New perspectives add on to it, right? Because you do, even when you go to church, right? I mean, there's some things I don't agree with, of course, but there are other things that I enjoy the perspective of them. I truly enjoy the perspective of them. Right? Well, I recently had a girl I really cared about be like, if you don't go to church with me, it can't work. I was like, dang. Okay, I guess I'll go to church. No, I'm just playing. I was like, nah, okay, that's cool. I'll leave it where it is then. But sometimes it's like, what is the actual problem? So I don't. And here's the thing: is whenever I talk to people about religion, spirituality, it's funny because, well, to me, it's funny because I don't come at anybody like I'm trying to teach them anything, unless it's here and y'all are asking me pointed questions, right, to help your life, or you book something with me or whatever. But if I'm just having a normal conversation, I had a conversation with this lady on the plane the other day. She just sat by me and we were just talking. And I just try to understand perspectives. I try to get as much information as I can about what you believe. And I talk about God, but I don't go to church. Yeah, I do. And church is just a building, right? You're the temple of God. I can learn, and so I was brought up in the Catholic Church, right? So I've been in church for a large part of my life. Studied a lot of different religions. I've studied with priests, right? So I understand the Bible. But do I believe that I need to go? So think about it like this too. Most churches, it's going to be a pastor giving you his perspective on something, right? When I'm sitting here, I'm giving you a perspective. You're just getting perspectives on things, right? I would say unless you're like in the Catholic, I did enjoy the sanctity of the Catholic Church just for the message, because their message was very, very like the canonized text. They stayed within it. Like they didn't veer off and like talk about personal things and all that. Like they stuck to the script. But if I go to a regular Christian church, they'll just give me fluff about it. And it seems like, or it feels like it's a lot of pandering. It's just selling hope. So I couldn't get with that. But can I still learn from those messages? Of course, I can still get different perspectives and see things in an interesting way. But I do not believe that the journey with God is, you need to go to church for it. I don't believe that at all. Right. And not all Christian churches, for sure. Not all Christian churches. But I would say Christian, I would say Catholic, when I look at Catholic churches, when I go to Catholic churches, or like a Jewish church, right? You go to a synagogue, right? It's very pointed. Like every day of the year is a specific message, a specific scripture, right? Everything is pointed to a specific thing, right? So it's wasn't this why the church was made for sure. To spread that information, right? I agree with that. So wondering about my advice on that? About my advice on what? Let me see. Because I understand that we have to say I already have it. Okay. Because I understand that we have to say I already have it. But like the lack of evidence is throwing me off. No, okay. So let's talk about that. It's not that you have to say you already, all right. When we say I am, why do we say I am? We say I am because that's the name of God, right? When Moses showed up, or when God showed up to Moses, and Moses asked, who are you, right? What should I call you? God said what? I am that I am. I am that I am is a blank check. It's a blank check. It means I am that I am. Which also translates to I am what I am. I am what I am. I simply am all that there is. I am whatever you say I am, right? So anytime we invoke the name I am, we are invoking the name of the Creator within us. So one way that people will say this, they'll say, okay, well, you have to say I am or I have. You will have to say I am or I have. You have to say it in present tense. But what that really means, the I am, it's not that it's present tense. You're always speaking about it from the present. You're always speaking about it from the present. I am is the name of source within you. But also, here's another thing. You're always saying I am. You're always saying I am, whether it's directly or indirectly. Even if I say women ain't shit, I'm saying I am a man who attracts women who ain't shit, right? I'm always saying I am. If I say that person loves me, I'm saying I am a person. I am a man who is loved by this person. So I'm always saying I am. Always. Always. Okay? So think about it like this. When God says, I'm the Alpha and the Omega, I'm the beginning and the end, the Alpha, the beginning, the Omega, the end, the that in the middle, the that is the identity that you choose. So you are the that. You have everything. You have the universe within you. I am and I am. And then the that in the middle is whatever you say it is. So I am prosperity. I am this. I am that. People don't treat me right. People treat me right. It's always I am. Right? So let me be even more clear. Because I don't want you to take that and be like, I have to say I am. Do you have to say I am? No. But it's a powerful statement to make because it invokes the name of God. Simply say that you are a millionaire in whatever way, and then never deviate from that story. No matter what the circumstances show you, no matter what you feel, no matter what. Go to that story and know that because I say this, reality must change to give me it. And every time it changes, it's getting me closer to what I want. Kicked out of what? So if you believe you'll get kicked out of it, I would say, are you assuming that this mindset or vibration is a feeling? Because it's not a feeling. The vibration is not a feeling. It's a statement. It's a decree, right? It doesn't say thou shalt feel a thing and it shall be. It's a statement. Dang, the market is tanking. Well, not tanking, but it's been a good day for some sales. But that's cool. So anxiety, that's fine. Anxiety, feelings. Remember, there's only one law. The law is I am. I am all that there is. Everything I say after that, I'm making rules. So yeah, if you believe your feelings are important, they are. But I am is above feelings. Even you saying that, oh, my anxiety kicks me out. That's an affirmation, right? You're saying, I am a person who, whenever I have anxiety, I'm being kicked out of my quote unquote alignment. But God is within you. You could never not be in alignment. It's only the things that you say and believe that are the truth. This is why you go to the end. I am a millionaire no matter what. No matter what I feel, no matter what I see, no matter the anxiety, no matter any of that shit. I am that I am no matter what. All right? Could you really imagine never like walking and saying that you're a millionaire right now and then everything happens to you and you just, no matter, like you never get the feeling outside of that? Is that realistic? Is that really realistic? All right? All right. So God within, the only source of fulfillment and power. The only source of fulfillment and power. Why do we seek validation from others? Why do we ache when we are not seen, not chosen, not affirmed? Because we forgot the source. God is not a being you pray to. God is the being that you are. I know that was a little triggering right there, right? It's a little triggering right there. I am is the only power. I am is the Lord. I am is the only power. I am is the Lord. The moment you believe fulfillment is external, you exile yourself from your divinity. You hand your keys to the world and wonder why your life doesn't move. The spiritual path is to return to the throne of your own heart, to remember that everything you see outside is simply the canvas on which your inner state paints. As Vadim Zeland teaches, reduce importance and increase intention. When you remove importance from external outcomes, you dissolve resistance. You stop worshiping the idol of someday and start dwelling in the power of now. All right. Beautiful. All right. I'm back. I'm getting distracted. All right. Becoming the creator, manifesting from inner authority. All right. Manifesting from inner authority. When you stop outsourcing power, you begin to shape reality. This is not about arrogance, right? It's not about arrogance, saying I am source. It's not an arrogant statement. Me saying I am source means I have to be very, very careful with my words because my words create reality. I am the expression of the divine. I'm the expression of the spirit of the divine. What I speak, right? The words that I speak are expressions of God. Everyone that I communicate to, right? They are also an expression of God. Psalm 46, be still and know that I am God. To know I am is to activate the engine of creation. It is to live from the inside out instead of living from the outside in. You are not a separate observer. You are the participant, the dreamer, the dream, and the one who wakes up inside the dream. From this place, manifestation is no longer about trying. It's no longer about trying. It's simply about being, remembering, and allowing. Being. Why when I'm saying being, I'm not saying being somebody else. It's about being you. All right? It's about remembering who you truly are and all that there is. And then it's about allowing. Beautiful. So 3 reflection questions, right? Number 1, what do I believe is outside of me that I have not yet become? What do I believe is outside of me that I have not yet become? Great question, Alec. Do you think that that person that you want is still outside of you? Right? There's some other person that you have to become. You have to hold this state of love to get them? Or do you simply know that you are love? And just by declaring that you have them, that is enough. Okay, number 2. Where have I placed power outside myself? In a person, a system, or a desire? Where have I placed power outside of myself? In a person, a system, or a desire? Where am I forgetting to put myself first? I gotta put me first. Where have I placed power outside of myself? Take that power back. Remember who you are. And then number 3, what part of me still seeks to be validated by the world? Here we go. This one can be a little bit triggering right here. Which part of me still seeks to be validated by the world instead of known by the God within me? Which part of you still seeks to be validated by the world instead of known by God within? When you know yourself, then you will be known. What do I mean by which part of me? Sure, that's an open-ended question. So let's give an example, all right? What part of me still seeks to be validated by the world instead of known by God within? Am I hungering, right, for this person to come back into my life? Because that's going to make me feel good about myself. I'll actually know that I'm worth it. Instead of simply knowing that I already am worth it and being known by that source within me and allowing all things to be added onto me. They're very hard to answer when you're in the end. They should be. But they push you to the end. Right? Answering these questions, doing that dissecting of yourself, they push you to the end. It forces you to go to the end. It forces you to go to the end. What led me to be who we are now? So choices, a bunch of choices. Pain, losing people, Pain, losing people. All that. So in closing, you are not separate. You are not missing anything. You are the whole, right? You are the holy. You are the I am. Neville Goddard quote, change your conception of yourself and you will automatically change the world in which you live. Beautiful. Let your awareness return to unity. Let your desire become identity. From that place, manifestation is not a miracle, but a law. You are not separate. You are the source and form. Right? I am that I am no matter what. I am that I am no matter what. You are everything that you desire to be right now. You are everything that you desire to be right now. Isn't that good to know? Isn't that good to know you can relax? You can stop the striving and trying to be worthy and trying to be in alignment. You can stop that shit and you can just know that you already are right now. You already are everything that you desire to be. Doesn't that feel good? It should. It should feel great. I am already everything I desire to be right now, no matter what. Okay? No matter what. Let's do some affirmations. I didn't write any today, but let's do the same ones as 2 or 3 days ago. Let's see. Matter of fact, let's do the letter. All right. So because we did that, we're gonna do the letter. It was a letter to yourself that I wrote. I'm gonna find it. Let me remember which one it was. Almost there, almost there. I'm about 23% sure that this is the one. Ah, here it is. I was right. 23%, bro. I need to go fucking put all my money on a parlay right now. Let me go to the casino. Let me go to the casino. All right, so here we go. This is a letter to yourself. Okay, this is a letter to yourself. It's a letter to yourself about doubt, anxiety, and all those things that we feel, and how we don't have to fight against those. We can let those things just occur, and we can remember who we are. All right, so I'm going to go straight through this. Read this from the perspective of you speaking to yourself. All right, and then we're going to get right into the affirmations. I'm going to zoom through these. All right, my beloved self, my beloved self, I know you have wrestled with doubt, tried to convince the mirror it was God. I know you've stood in the storm of your emotions, gripping onto hope, trying to believe enough, feel enough, be enough to make the unseen come forth. But I want you to hear me now. You no longer have to carry the burden of doing. You never had to. There is a power within you that has always known the way. It has never questioned your worth. It has never doubted your destiny. It is your I am awareness, the still, eternal essence that speaks not from fear, but from truth. And from this moment forward, you no longer need your ego to believe. Let the third dimensional self doubt, let it panic, let it pace, let it cry, but you will know. You will rest in the divine knowing that your Father within does the work, that it is already done in spirit, and only time is catching up to what is eternal. You no longer need to beg the world to hold you, because I hold you now. You don't need anyone to finally see you, because I see you now. I see the one who tried so hard to be perfect, the one who whispered affirmations through clenched teeth, the one who wanted to trust so badly, but secretly feared it was all in vain. I forgive you for all the ways you reached out for love in places that could never give it. I forgive you for the nights you collapsed, exhausted from trying to have more faith. You were never wrong for wanting to be saved, but now you know the Savior lives within you, and He has never left. You are not your doubts, not your fear. You are not your temporary emotions. You are the awareness behind it all. You are the open sky, vast, still, eternal, where the ego storms pass beneath. From now on, let the waves rise and fall, but you will remain anchored in the truth. I am is doing the work. So stop asking yourself, am I doing enough? Do I believe enough? Is it working? It was never up to you, not the you the world sees, not the version of you that struggles to feel aligned. The doing has always been in the hands of the divine, and now so are you. Walk boldly, not in efforts, but in knowing, right? Not in ego, but in essence. Not in fear, but in faith. Not in yourself, but in the one who breathes through you. You are not alone. You were never unworthy. You were simply remembering. And now you are home. All right? Beautiful. 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 Remember, who do you trust to do the work? Are you trusting that your ego does the work, or do you know that it's you that does the work? It's you that does the work. It's I am that does the work, right? Not your ego. Okay, so we got a couple affirmations. Number one, I no longer strive to believe. I rest in the truth that my I am already knows. Beautiful. I no longer strive to believe. I rest in the truth that my I am already knows. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Right? The Father within me sees, hears, and fulfills every desire without delay or doubt. The Father within me sees, hears, and fulfills every desire without delay or doubt. Love it. Love it. All right? The ego may question, but my soul stands unwavering in divine certainty. The ego may question, but my soul stands unwavering in divine certainty. Right? I release the need to make it happen, for the I am in me has already done it. I release the need to make it happen. I release the need to make it happen, for the I am in me has already done it. Yeah. Here we go. I do not need to be perfect to receive. I need only to know that it is already mine. I do not need to be perfect to receive. I need only to know that it is already mine. Wonderful. Three more. Buckle up. Even when I feel unsure, the power within me remains sure, steady, and sovereign. This is a bar. Even when I feel unsure, I am remains sure, steady, and sovereign. The I amness within me remains constant. Even when I feel unsure, even when I feel doubt and anxiety and fear and worry and all these feelings, the power within me remains sure, steady, and sovereign. Beautiful. 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 All right. Two more. I am the beloved of Source, provided for before I even ask. That's a fire-ass idea too, ain't it? That's a dope idea. I am the beloved of Source. I appreciate that, bro. I am the beloved of Source, provided for before I even ask. Before I even ask. Before I even ask. Provided for before your boy even asks. And last but certainly not least, all right? The moment I declare the I am moves, it is done. It is finished. It is fulfilled. The moment I declare I am moves, it is done. It is finished. It is fulfilled. Right? I am that I am, no matter what. Okay? No matter what. All right, y'all. Well, that's the end of today's discussion. Appreciate y'all. I gotta finish packing. Know your boy's moving out in the morning, but I wanted to get on here and do a live. If I get far enough, I might go on today. If not, I'll probably just do it tomorrow when I finish doing everything. But I appreciate the discussion, appreciate the insights, appreciate the pushbacks, appreciate everything, right? Love this community that we are building. And remember, you already have everything that you desire. It's already yours. It's already yours, right? Remember that, know that, walk as if it's done because it is. All right, y'all have a beautiful, beautiful evening, and we shall talk